For Sports Scene, I'm Connor McGlynn alongside Jackson Saffon and two of USC football's defensive stars, safety Chris Hawkins, linebacker Michael Hutchings, here to get a little bit of a taste for what goes on in game week preparations outside the field and inside the classroom. Thanks for joining us, guys.
So thanks for letting us on your turf. My first question is, how does the film process work? Like after a game, do you watch as position groups? Do you watch as a whole team, individuals? How does the whole week work as far as watching film goes?
After a game, we come in the next day with your position group. If you can, you guys watch it yourselves, all as players. And then on Monday is when we watch it as a whole. We watch special teams meeting all together. And then we come in here, Coach Pendergrass shows us all the plays that he wants to show us, as a unit. And then you break into your, the inside linebackers, you break into your defensive backs, and you watch it with your individual coaches.
Outside of the practice field, how long are you really spending in a classroom kind of breaking down film?
That depends on how much work you want to put in. We only get, about an hour of meeting time each day as a position group or as a defense to meet. So coming in between classes, finding time in the day is really critical for us. So, I try to find an hour and a half each day to come in to kind of break down film, get some of the coaches' opinions to see what they're seeing on film and get a feel for the week. I think the better we understand the game plan with the coaches, the better we go out there and perform because we're comfortable with it also.
Would you guys say you watch more of the opposing team's film, or do you try to break down yourselves more?
We always focus on us first, and I think that's the main thing is breaking down our techniques, our fundamentals, and our schemes before we worry about the others. And I would say we focus on ourselves more, and then we apply what we know in our schemes and techniques to what they're running.
Right. All right, well, Mike, you're in control of the remote. How about you walk us through this first play to match up between USC and Colorado?
Yeah, this is the first play right here. Chris will make a play on an under route that's coming underneath here. Chris is right here, safety, and they're motioning over to a formation that we know. Chris will make a big play on third down right here.
So you see him come up, kind of anticipating that throw. When you see them go into the motion like that, is it kind of a read that they're checking out of something into something that you're more familiar with, or how does that motion kind of give away what they're doing?
I've seen it throughout the week, on film. Once they line up their Z receiver, tight to the line of scrimmage like they do on this play right here, it always alerts me to a play that I've seen during the week, so I'm able to anticipate it and play fast. So once you see the motion just ran across, then you have number 4 is Bryce Bobo. Once you see him tight to the line, they're trying to set up which is called a trailer screen to him. So once I see when they're trying to set up a trailer screen, then it's my objective to go make a play. It's 3rd and 4. This is one of their great third down plays. It's worked throughout the season. If you go to the Michigan game, it worked in the Michigan game as well. If you pause it right here, Mike, what they did right here, they set the back out wide. When you motion a running back outside, you're not really going to throw him the ball. You're just trying to get everybody's eyes messed up. But eventually, you still have the same formation, the 3 guys over there, and then you have the Z receiver tight to the line, and then he's going to run the under, and then they're going to complete the pass. So this was something that I've seen on film. As you can see here, number 17 runs the under route. They completed to him.
And here you don't have the safety coming up and making the
exactly.
play.
And he runs for almost a touchdown, which is a first down, which is 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. So, that's something, that we seen during the week. It's something that I seen, and it helped me throughout the course of the game.
Stanford's been a team that's been really consistent with their style of offense over the last few years. So what happened on this play against Stanford that you guys were reading, and how were you able to diagnose what they were doing?
They love to get the ball to the tight ends. And once they condense the formation, you can see Leon checking right here. Can't really tell you what he's checking to, but you can see him checking. And we kind of know what's coming. They love to run a mesh route and get the tight end, number 9, the ball over the middle of the field. So as the post safety, I was able to make diagnose what they were trying to do and then make a play on the ball before it got there. It was a great rush by Uchenna and Wusu right here to put the pressure on the quarterback, which made it easier for me to make a play on the ball.
And so them condensing the play, that's how you were able to read that. What did you get exactly from what you knew what they were going to do by the fact that they motioned in?
Before the play, they motioned to a different formation to try to mess with our eyes. But, by watching so much film, we know once everybody is tight, then they're going to go under. You know, it was a third down play, and it was a big, you know, mesh is a big third down play for anybody in the country. You know, they try to get you picked off if you're a man or anything like that. And we were in a different type of zone right here, and I was able to make the play on the ball.
So taking a step back, you guys are upperclassmen now. You've kind of been going through this for a while. When did you really develop this mentality of getting into the classroom and studying film so much?
And how did you develop it?
I mean, I would say for me, I mean, this started, you know, in high school. My dad was a big film guy. You know, he made us come home after we watched film with the coaches. He made me come home and watch film right next to him on the computer. You know, we used to use Huddle. We used to use the Huddle here as well, but now we transitioned to XOS. But, you know, Huddle was big back in high school. I mean, I would say everybody used it. I don't know, De La Salle used it as well. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty big. You know, I developed this a long time ago, and I think the same goes for Mike.
Yeah, I mean, in high school, I mean, we watched a bunch of film. The day after the game, we're already in there breaking it down. And, I mean, for us, we watched film every single day at lunch. There was no lunch during the season. For us, it just gives you that much more of an edge. I mean, it's just developing that habit. And I think it's kind of increased for us this last year tremendously because, I mean, we kind of picked it up and now we're starting to show results for us on the field. And, I mean, us being older guys, I mean, we don't have as much class anymore. We have time to come up here and focus a lot more on football, which is a plus for us. And I think now that we see the results of it, I mean, it's just something that we just want to continue to keep going for the second half of the season.
One thing that always stands out hearing you after practice and stuff is you're very specific about what you can read and what you can pick up after watching some of the film. Yeah. So are you guys really looking at the whole offense as one unit, or are you picking out particular players and particular whether it's reads or zones, things like that?
Yeah. You got to look at everything. I know the linebackers, they look at the offensive line. You know, if their hands are light, then they know it's going to be a pass. You know, but if they're heavy on their hands, then they know it's going to be a run, and that helps them, you know, anticipate certain things that are going to happen. But when it comes to offenses, you know, you look at certain formations, you know, motions like what happened in the first play I showed you guys, things like that. You know, where exactly the receivers are lined up. You know, if they're in like a doubles. If number 2 is on the ball, if number 1 is off, or vice versa. So, you know, it's just real tendencies that you pick up on that help you learn the game better.
Mike, can you explain what the light on the hands and the heavy on the hands mean?
I mean, any linebacker knows that you kind of look at the pressure of an offensive lineman's hands, because when they're light on their hands, they're getting ready to drop back into a pass and pass set. Anytime they're heavy on their hands, they're leaning forward, ready to get off the ball for a run. But there's multiple tendencies that you look up, that you kind of look for as a linebacker. You see a running back in the backfield, and he's scanning, looking for who's coming on a blitz. That means you know he's in protection for a pass. If he's just kind of with a steady eye, you know he's ready to just look at where he's running the ball to. So I mean, there's a lot of little things that you can look at to help you get a jump on the play.
All right, well, we got one more play here. It's from the Utah State game early in this season. How about you run us through this one? 4th down. This
was a formation that they don't usually run because they're a spread team. But this play right here, they also ran it on me earlier in the game, so I kind of anticipated that it was coming again. And I ended up getting a pass breakup right here. We were in man coverage, and I think it was just me. This wasn't even me watching film, but this was just me remembering that I seen this formation earlier in the game. They tried to run the play on me earlier in the game, and me getting a chance to kind of bounce back and make that play this time that it came to me. And it was on a 4th down, so luckily I got to make a big play.
And they're even throwing some trickeration there, pulling the guard and running the guy out of the backfield.
But luckily, I mean, we were in man coverage, and that's just another thing that we were talking about, just eye candy, that they kind of try to mess with your eyes a little bit. But you got to we like to say, keep your eyes on your luggage, and in man coverage, that's what I had to do right there.
So I know pulling guards is sort of a common thing to try to really sell a play action. Is there a way that you can decipher when teams are pulling guards, whether it's going to be a play action or whether it's going to be more of a power run?
Pretty much we can tell when guys are pulling. That's another thing you look at. Guys lean in their stance, guys kind of move their feet a little bit just to make it a little bit easier from the pull. I mean, they're bigger guys, so they try to find a little bit easier way for them to kind of move. And when it comes to the pulling guards, whether it's a pass or run, you can't really diagnose that. That is a tough one, but it's something that you just kind of pick up on film, know the down and distance, know the formation. You try to add in other factors that may help you defeat that kind of throwing off kind of eye candy.
Have you seen kind of yourself develop as a player from freshman to senior year? And because like what Mike was saying, less classes, you have more time to put yourself in here. How much has that really helped you and the impact out on the field?
Oh, it's a big impact. I mean, I feel like right now, I mean, we both have so much time to watch film, and I think you can see it in both of our plays. I mean, we're both out there making a lot of plays, you know, throughout the season. I think we're both playing some of the best football that we've played since we got here, you know, and it's showing by how fast we play, you know, how fast we can anticipate what another team is doing. You know, we take that to heart, you know, being able to do that. And I think that's one of the biggest assets of both of our play.
So, Mike, one of the things that you've been really good at throughout your career is snuffing at those screens, and that's definitely something that you would break down on film. So what's an example like this against Stanford, a team that is really good at that, using Christian McCaffrey in that way?
Yeah, this is a screenplay right here. I'll rewind a little bit, pause it, and I mean, they're spread out right here. Christian McCaffrey's right here. Look how tight he is to the quarterback, up into the line. I think this was a third down play. And this is just something that I kind of anticipated. You see that line come out right there, and it's something that you're just used to seeing from playing a lot of football. And as soon as I seen this, I come off the line right here and see this line release, I knew what play was coming. And that just comes from playing a lot of football, remembering what you see. And when it comes to, I mean, you got to know who you're playing. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is a guy that they're going to try to get the ball in his hands, I mean, any possible way. I mean, it was third downs. I mean, a lot of people like running draws or screens, anything to kind of get you, the defense kind of light on their feet. And this was something I just kind of anticipated. It was third down. I mean, we're playing one of the best football players in the country, a guy that you want to put the ball in his hands at any times. And this is something I was able to anticipate and make a tremendous play right here and come through for my team.
You even took like a little bit of a stutter step after recognizing that the O-line was going out so you could get around them. What happened with that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't want to go through those right. Big O-linemen. So that's something that I had to make a little bit of a move, and it's just kind of an on-flight adjustment or in-flight adjustment that you make, and it's just something you react to on the field. Everything is pretty much a reaction. Nothing is planned really, and I think you have to play with instincts, and that's something that you have to do on defense, and it's something that you're consistently working on.
So film is one of the things that helps you really develop those instincts and be able to recognize plays. Like you said, you're not trying to plan it, but one thing I'm dying to know is who watches more film between the two of you guys?
I would say me. I think it has to be with just my position. I think being a middle linebacker and kind of calling the defense, knowing what everybody's doing, the D-line, the secondary, kind of being the middleman between the two. I kind of take pride in watching film, make sure that I'm always sharp every time I step onto the field, and being able to help everybody else on the field just by being vocal and being a leader.
I mean, I would have to agree with that. I mean, he's really, you know, he's really stepped it up, you know, this year. You know, being a middle linebacker, being the vocal leader for both the D-line and then helping the secondary at times. I mean, he's really stepped his game up to a whole nother level. You know, he's playing lights out right now, and he does watch, you know, probably the most film on the team. You know, I'm probably behind him in a close second, but I mean, he does. He does probably watch the most. You know, when I come in here, when I try to sneak in here and get some extra film in, he's already in here. So, you know, we end up meeting here and watching it together. But, you know, he's taken that upon him as a leader, you know, as the captain of the defense to really do that, you know, and it's really shown in his play. Going
into a week, you guys don't come into the game room empty-handed. The coaches kind of prep you and give you some information. Yeah. What is that kind of report like that they give you?
I mean, the coaches, you know, they always make sure, you know, that we're, you know, at our full advantage. So, you know, during the week, they'll come in, they'll give us the first and second down report, you know, their top personnel with their top runs out of personnel, their top passes. And then, you know, they'll give us pictures of their passes so that we can visually see them. I think this is the best thing, you know, the coaches have done for us, you know, giving us this. You know, we didn't have this last year. You know, now we have solid pictures of actually what they do, so that if a guy like doesn't watch a lot of film, then he can really see, you know, exactly what's going on the film without really watching it. So, you know, I think this helps us a lot. You know, they give us the third down report and the first and second down report and also the red zone report. So, you know, I feel like this is something that Coach Bradford and Coach Pendergast has really, brought to this defense, and I think it's helping us in a lot of ways.
All right, guys. Well, obviously, I think it's pretty important to say that what you see out on the field on Saturdays kind of comes as a collection off of the on-field practice and what we've seen here today in the classroom. So thanks for joining me and Jackson, and I think this was really valuable.
Yeah, I learned a lot. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So you can make sure to see these guys out there on Saturday, see us on Sports Scene on Wednesdays over on uscannonburgmedia.com.